Bill Cosby.
Oh boy, I need to get him a fucking time machine so he can go back.
I was gonna say that,
and not do a certain thing or two. Or
a time machine and a good talking to.
Yeah.
Listen, you can't just be going around doing that thing.
Nah, that's Eddie. That's Eddie.
That's not Eddie. That was Cosby.
Sir,
It was like underwater Cosby.
You're listening to the Double D's podcast.
I'm Dom.
I'm D.respect.
You got a great set of tits.
I get so angry thinking about this kid.
Because that's what most people are bitching about.
New York, you know what I mean? We like here. You
gotta stop looking at interacting with people online as a cheap date. My father used to drink.
get the fuck away from me. Hang on.
I come a lot, by the way.
You're doing the rap stuff.
If you didn't say it, somebody in the comment section would have said it.
It's like how you feel when you're having a paranoid high.
That's a dynamic connection right there.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, y'all. What's up? What's going on, everybody?
You're listening to the Christmas special, the Christmas episode of the Double D's podcast.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Oh, come on, you're supposed to keep going. Right.
Oh, what's fun is it's
Jingle
to
bells,
Compton.
jingle bells,
I'm D.respect.
jingle all the way.
I'm
Riding
D.respect.
through Compton
That's
right
Anthony
now.
Fantano, and we also have Kendrick Lamar here. Kendrick, what's up?
Yo, what's going on, man? It's Christmas K-Dot, everybody.
Yeah,
I'm feeling out there.
I'm honored that you would stop by the Double D's podcast and grace us with your presence, man. What's
It's
going
okay.
on?
I do what I can. You know, I just came through to get my hair cut because it's been looking really fucked up lately. You
Okay.
know?
Okay. All right.
Did you guys see me on Colbert Report?
What? Kendrick, do you have a? Where did you grow up? Was it Compton or Cote d'Ivoire?
That's why that word Colbert sounds so right coming out of his mouth. Say it again, Colbert.
I'm from Compton, man. I know you listen to all my albums, man. You know what I'm talking. I heard of you talking about my albums. I know you know where I'm from. You know.
Yep.
It's cool. Did you guys like my performance?
We enjoyed it.
I know, man. You know.
I thought it was a little too shishi foo foo, a little too artsy. You know.
What does that mean? You're speaking French to me or something?
Where are the barks? You know, like just seems like you can't really start a verse without barking and have it be good.
I don't bark anymore, man. I used to do that in the beginning of my career, back when I used to emulate DMX.
Yep.
That was me fucking up.
That was when.
Ugh. Yuck.
Way to go, Dom. Way to go.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, it's Dom.
I'm
here to take over, son. This is my podcast now. We talk about what I want, okay?
I think that's a really good idea. I thought you always should be a little bit more assertive in the podcast. So,
let's talk about Axe body spray. Let's talk about Del Mice. All right.
Okay.
Let's talk about this loud ass train that's going past my apartment.
I can't even hear it. That's how loud it is.
But yeah, it's Christmas right now, you guys. People are opening their presents. People are like avoiding their racist uncles who want to like touch them a little too hard. You know?
Yeah. And their and their aunts that are just a little too like judgmental of the way that they dress or their weight
or just judgmental about everything. Like, so that's what you're doing now.
You've gotten big. Like pinch your belly. Get the fuck away from me.
Oh, so you're podcasting? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Groundbreaking.
Ugh.
Oh, Anthony, are you still doing that music thing?
You know what? You know the motion she's doing with her finger. The little that little she's wagging her finger. That little video thing. It's like, oh my.
Are you still doing the YouTube? Are you still doing the YouTube? Christina sent me a YouTube the other day, and it was funny. It was this cat riding on top of a Roomba with a duck. So funny. Great YouTubes.
How many views did it get, Ma?
It would be great if you just fucking.
It had 2 million views. Does Anthony's views get that much? I don't think so. He should get he should get a duck, put it on a Roomba.
Oh yeah, there's the part where she starts telling you what you should do in your video.
Like, it's cool you're doing all this music stuff and this art videos and all that.
Why don't you
cats.
review more country? Why don't you review more country? I love the Kenny Chesney.
Said by no one in history ever. Why don't you review more country?
I saw I put up a tweet that said that the other day, where I was just like reading this kid wrote this like immense verse in a YouTube comment, like underneath like a hip hop instrumental that I was looking at, and I just like took to Twitter and I was like, hey everybody, we gotta sign this guy, he wrote the hottest verse on YouTube. As he sucks on this massive cigar. You gotta see this kid's writing. He puts some amazing stuff into words on the YouTube in the comments. He's just writing fire in there, writing pure fire.
He's no Cal Chester, that's for sure.
The boy's spitting hot fire, man. Dropping.
He's no Cal Chester, and you know what? And that's the elephant in the room right now. I know Anthony's been hating. I know he's been hating because Cal's been dropping heat recently, but there's nothing you could do about that, bro.
Listen, it's just a little bit of a conflict of interest for me to put his music onto my top 50 singles of the year, because okay. I know him, and I hate him. So, I'm going to be biased in terms of opinions on his music.
Is Cal coming out with a 2014 video?
No video in the works, but maybe like a mixtape next year. I don't know.
Oh shit.
I have a serious question for you, Fantano. Okay. I am obsessed with the dreams and what people dream about, their dream content, all that stuff. Have you ever had a dream about Cal? Has he ever popped up in one of your dreams?
No.
Okay. He stayed out of that realm?
It's usually just like, I rarely find myself thinking of him accidentally, because it's usually an incredible struggle to think of him purposefully. So, my mind rarely wanders there.
To Cal World.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta sign that fellow. We gotta get him a sitcom. So, all right, it's Christmas, and we gotta talk about the festivities. We gotta talk about this lovely the birth of our Lord and Savior. Let me finish, okay? Our Lord on the cross. Do you feel him?
Okay. So now what you're doing now is you're showing out because we have a guest. And you're showing out, and you're punking me, but I'm not gonna put up with it too much longer. But
do you
continue.
feel him?
I think it's entertaining. Keep going.
Oh no!
You just cut into my thing, dude. Now I can't.
All right, so
I was on a roll.
All right, so go ahead and finish.
He's looming over us on a cross, like blah. He's like about to break the fucking cross, come down, blah, give you them presents.
Mm-hmm.
This is the sound he's gonna make. D.respect, open that shit.
Hold up, I thought there was a Christmas point here. I thought you were getting to something.
That was it.
Oh, all right. Anyway, well, I just got my tree. I got my tree, and I got my little crummy topper. A little too biblical, I think. Misrespect, she got like this little starry looking thing, and I think it's just too Christian. I wanted to get something goofy.
A star isn't Christian.
I don't know.
You wanted a more secular tree.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, look at the tree. Look at the tree.
I wanted it.
It's got a beautiful topper on there.
Yeah,
and it's
with a
not
pop culture item,
denominational.
something like that. Exactly.
It's a non-denominational tree.
Yeah, I don't want something that looks like I'd be praying over at Christmas morning. I didn't want that. Yeah.
I don't think anybody prays over their tree Christmas morning.
They do it in fucking Whoville. Those savages down there, all fucking each other, inbred. That's what they do in Whoville. They don't tell you that.
Why they look all fucked up.
They have those cute ass button noses.
Just generations of inbreeding.
Yeah.
led to these freakish furry bodies, like bent spines and cute button noses.
Yeah, their asses are like just way low to the ground, and they have all spine, leading to those long ass heads. You think that shit's cute until you see them in real life.
Yep. Yeah, because I saw that Jim Carrey movie of the Grinch and the Jim Carrey version, and it was nightmarish.
Yes, it was.
What is with Hollywood just grabbing like children's cartoons and they just make them like scary looking, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like the turtles are on roids in that movie. They really roided up for that film.
Did you actually watch that?
I didn't see it, but I want to.
Really?
I grew up loving the Turtles. So, what can I say?
Who's your favorite turtle?
I was into the Turtles and Ghostbusters. Favorite turtle, Donatello, because he was the nerdy turtle.
Donatello.
He knew all the cool stuff.
Guy who would say that.
No way. Raphael was the least likable turtle.
I was a
liked
Raphael
Raphael.
guy. I was a Raphael guy.
How could you be a Raphael guy? There's nothing special about him
There
other than
is.
that
He's the guy who's like,
grumpy.
you know, I don't care about you fucks anyway, man.
He's just
I'm outta
grumpy.
He's
outta
he's the loner.
He's the loner.
He's the loner. You know, it's just like Splinter told him in the movie. When he told him, "You are unlike your brothers because you choose to fight your battles by yourself. But do not forget about them, and do not forget about me, my son."
Raphael, least distinct turtle and least cool weapon. Okay.
Okay, I agree with you there. He does have the least coolest weapon. That shit is terrible.
No. You're both. He has sharp ass.
No. I agree with him right there. Those things are shit.
How do you? He can stab you with them. Quick, shoot, shoot, shoot.
And Leonardo could stab you with a sword.
Okay, true.
See, I've always felt that Donatello and Michelangelo are sort of the fringe guys. Even though Raphael's the outsider, but they're more liberal, they're more laid back, and the other two are a bit stuck to their ways. They're a bit more rigid. I've always felt, but that never stopped me from. See, the Raphael that I like was a Raphael from the movies. Now in the cartoon, you can't really discern much between any of them. I think unless I'm forgetting the cartoons, Michelangelo is really the only one that really stood out.
Michelangelo was the party animal. Leonardo was the
party
leader. Leonardo was the decisive leader, and Donatello was the nerdy guy who knew all the
creative
technology and stuff.
Right. He was the creative. Right.
So and Raphael was like the grump.
Oh,
He got the most turtle bitches though. If girls liked any, wait, wasn't he the one that April O'Neil liked? Right? She liked.
I
Raphael,
don't think she
right?
liked any.
I
of them.
don't think she had a crush on any of them. I
you
think
sure?
I think
They liked her though.
They were barking up the wrong tree there.
Oh man.
So
they were like, man, you want some of this turtle dick? And I mean, she's like, you know, I'm a human. Why would I ever fuck a turtle? What the hell is wrong with you? I'm going to go bang Casey Jones. He's a human. Mm-hmm. And they were just like, damn, I thought we had a chance. Yeah. That's the only reason they hang out with her, right? Is because they think they have a chance. Am I just imagining that?
I think she chases them around because she's a reporter.
Oh, okay. She writes for like Salon.com or Jezebel or something.
Yeah.
Bossip.
She
writes for
She writes
Bossip.
mean things about the turtles and how they're misogynist. Like, why isn't there a female turtle in the club?
They're just just no radioactive juices fell on a female turtle.
No.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It was just all on male turtles. What are you gonna do?
All right.
It's just the way the dice was rolled.
You do sort of get that feeling of obligation when you see those old films. You know, like when I saw the Taken trailer. I mean, even though it's not an old film, I do feel like I'm obligated to go see it.
What do you mean? During Christmas?
I don't know when it comes out. I'm not sure when it comes out, but I've got to see the
Taken
conclusion.
3. You're the special.
Yeah.
Taken 3, right? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Taken 3. I have to see what happens at the end, and I know the trailer implies that he's going to die, but I have to see how he dies and who kills him.
But you've seen the previous two.
Yeah, I've seen the previews.
So where is this obligation coming from that you're talking about?
This obligation to see it comes from the fact that he's an unstoppable force in the first two movies. I mean, it's almost comical how he just beats the shit out of the entire world, and now it's him against the world. You saw the trailer, right?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. But are you saying that you don't feel that obligation now to see the new one, or?
Oh no, yes, I feel that obligation because I saw the trailer. If you see the trailer, it's Forrest Whitaker's in it, and Forrest Whitaker's mapping out how, like, if you go forth with this, the CIA is going to be after you, the Army's going to be after you, and of course, Liam Neeson is like, "Good luck," you know, like, "Fuck you." It's me against the world. I have to see how retarded this shit is. Like, how are you gonna kill Liam Neeson? But he implies, Dom, I don't know if you remember, you know, he has this little speech towards the end. I've done a lot of things in my life, and a lot of, you know, so it gives you the sense that he's gonna get shot in the head. I don't know. Gotta see it. I gotta see it.
I haven't seen those. I'm not really that big of a Liam Neeson fan, but I am looking forward to the new Mad Max. That trailer looks insane.
You know, I have a good feeling. I like Tom Hardy. I have a lot of faith in most of the stuff he's in. It's a good trailer. I mean, it's in the desert fighting, you know?
Desert fighting. Good old desert fight.
and all the technology it's all rusty, it's worn down in that post-apocalyptic environment. It's terrible.
You haven't seen the originals?
D.respect.
I think I saw one of them. I think I saw Mad Max in the Thunderdome
With Tina Turner.
Yeah, with Tina Turner.
Yeah. You got to see that one.
Yeah.
But Mad Max, that's a great series. That's like, I mean, that movie series is like what Waterworld wished it was.
Oh, that was a
True,
TV
very
series,
true.
really?
No.
I mean,
The series
movie
as in
franchise. You know, it's like a few movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, but you know, I mean that movie kind of like set the tone for like post-apocalyptic action. You know, yeah, it's a great couple of movies.
I could just imagine Tom Hardy on the set when they're just like bullshitting, and he starts shooting like a California Love parody. That'd be hilarious if they put something like that out. Dun, 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 dun.
Dom, I wanted to ask you about something that happened earlier this year, and I don't know if you guys talked about it on the podcast. If you did, I didn't catch it, but what did you think of that Irish guy that punched the hole in the Monet? Being that you are a bit of an artist yourself, you dabble in the arts.
Yeah, I dabble a little bit. But how do I feel? I think it's funny, to be honest. I'm not
really. You like, as an artist, you don't like have this like, you know, there isn't like this kind of just irrational jerk reaction to the whole thing where you're like, fuck that guy.
Honestly, no. But I have to say it's because I like Monet. I'm not super into him. I think if it had been like if it had been a Van Gogh, I would have been a little more angry.
If it had been if somebody punched a hole in a Van Gogh.
Yeah.
Pissed off.
I like him more if we're talking about impressionists. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, one second. So I'm looking this thing up here because I haven't seen it. So what's the story behind this? This is just the
This
guy.
Irishman, I mean, either because of just being a angry, belligerent idiot, or maybe intoxicated.
I think
while in a museum just punched a freaking hole in a painting that was on the wall.
I heard something about him saying that it was demonic. I might be thinking of something else.
Yeah,
but
he could have been crazy too. For whatever reason, dude just walked up to the wall and just punched a hole in the freaking painting.
it's just the humor of it just makes me. I can't get angry. It's like blah! It's like this thing is like millions
like
of dollars.
it's so preposterous.
It is. It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know that I'm that upset about it. Fucking what other medium though is like that? You get one object that is the perfect representation of the thing. Even if you take a million pictures of it, it's that one thing, and you can have it on a wall, and someone can literally punch it worthless. They can hit it, and it's automatically that thing is done. It's like you can't punch a musical performance. I guess you can and ruin it for hundreds of thousands of people. But I mean,
You could punch someone in the musical performance. And you could try to punch a sculpture, but you know it might screw up your hand.
Yeah.
But
I see here that he was found guilty after just 90 minutes by a jury. His name is Andrew Shannon.
You're fucking going to jail. You hunt.
That might have been one of the fastest convictions.
Yeah.
Fucking jail. He punched the Monet, you fuck. Getting fucked up in jail. Groundskeeper Willie. That right there was. There are many sad Simpsons characters like Barney, Gumble, Mo Sizlak, and Groundskeeper Willie. Hans Moleman is probably the saddest. No, Gil and Hans Moleman are the saddest Simpsons characters. But I would also throw in Groundskeeper Willie.
One of my favorite Mole Man quotes is, "No one's gay for Mole Man."
What?
I think it was just like an argument that like Bart and Lisa were having, just saying that, you know, like, no, you're gay for Mole Man. No, you're gay for Mole Man.
I remember him saying he was 35.
Yeah.
Didn't he say that at one point?
Yeah,
I'm
he's
35.
really young, yeah.
Man is aging poorly.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. So this guy who punches the Monet, it's worth $7.8 million apparently here. Is there something that the museum is doing to? Are they going to sue him? Like what came his way besides a sentence?
I don't know, but you can't just.
I mean, I don't know if there's anything else they can do. I mean, you know,
They
put the
could
guy
just
in jail. He kind of just destroyed like public property and what happens to be a very expensive piece of of either public property or the museum's property.
It always shocks me how unguarded these priceless works of art are. They just right there, with the exception of something like the Mona Lisa. All the schmucks go out there to go look at it, and it's behind 10 inches of bulletproof glass, and then it's 10 feet away from you or something.
Where,
in the Louvre.
Where is the Mona Lisa?
In the Louvre, in France.
In France, okay.
Big museum shaped like a pyramid. It was in Da Vinci Code. If you saw that flick.
No, I didn't.
Kanye West went down there, and then he wrote Yeezus.
Yeah, that's what happened. He was touched.
He was inspired.
He was touched by that painting.
Yeah, you look it up on Wikipedia.
I saw the Mona Lisa
on the internet.
That shit wasn't hot.
It ain't no Ralph though.
Ain't no Ralph. Look at that shit.
I saw someone put up a 6-second Vine on my Facebook. That was Kanye, I guess, at the Breakfast Club saying, don't believe in you, whatever, but I believe in me. I believe in me. And just for a second, I thought, man, we've really got to be real twisted because this guy's putting this up as like a statement. Like, this is who I am, and I'm getting behind this egotistic fuck. And that's supposed to represent something about you, which I'm totally in agreement with the idea of believing in yourself.
But he just said, "Don't believe in you."
No. I'm paraphrasing. That's not exactly what he said, but he was just like, "You don't have to believe in yourself, but believe in me." It was one of Kanye's rants about, about fashion and all that stuff. But the person puts it up as a statement, but it's just like that. Always just reminds me about the fact that everyone wants to be that asshole in this country. Everyone wants to be that asshole that just bloviates behind a microphone, and you want to be that dick. You don't ever look at that dick and say he's an asshole. You want to be like that person. Well, at least that person that posted it wants to be like that.
I mean, we definitely value that super confidence. It sort of equals, I think in this country, it seems to have always equaled super capitalism. You run the shit. I run the nickels, man. Wait, what the fuck?
I roll the nickels.
Yeah, I roll the nickels. Mm-hmm. I have all the girls in the world, man. Yeah, that kind of character. He has all the oil derricks in Coyote Hills. He's the best. He's gonna make all the fucking money. He's
got the longest straw.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, but the thing is, I think when most people try to put on that facade, they either get brought back down to earth really quickly. I mean, what people want really is to be able to act like that, and then for them to get applause afterwards. Like, yeah, you know what? He is awesome. Whereas, most people walking around every day, it's like, that guy is fucking out of touch with reality. But, Kanye West has so many fans behind him that, the moment he says something like that, there are hundreds of thousands of people who will just quickly just jump in to back him up he's right.
Right.
Did you guys hear the Kanye Chief Keef song? Did we talk about that?
The new one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody. How did it go? It's like,
I heard it once. It's like a Furby.
Yeah.
What is that?
That is exactly how the song went.
That was.
Well, Kanye didn't have a verse in it, did he?
He was in the back.
He just kind of
just in the back
on it.
Yeah.
You said he cooed it.
I thought you said he cruised on it. You said he cooed on it?
No, he crooned on it.
Crooned on it.
Crooned on it.
I like cooing because that's what babies do. It's cute.
He cooed on it too.
It ain't no Ralph. But that was shy. I posted something in Reddit, and I was like, so this to me sounds like a lot of Lil B songs, and you guys are shitting on this Chief Keef track, but if it was a Lil B track, you guys would have liked it. Is that how this thing works with Lil B fandom?
Or if it was like a Young Lean track?
Yeah, but people were shitting on me. They were like, "No, man." But I don't get how that works. If one artist makes really shitty music, it's okay somehow.
Or what if it was like a Young Thug track?
Oh, right. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think it just all kind of depends on who runs across it. I think because of his high profile and the fact that people like Kanye collaborate with him consistently, Chief Keef gets a lot of crossover exposure to people who normally wouldn't be into that kind of thing, you know, who would probably just like, you know, give him no breaks and no attention whatsoever and just see him as just like a really mediocre MC and figure in hip hop right now. Whereas like, you know, Birdman signing someone like Young Thug, that's just kind of like a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
You know, like the whole Young Money brand is like the whole Cash Money brand is like the perfect place for like Young Thug to be. You know, whereas like Chief Keef, I think Chief Keef might have had, you know, a secure place in hip hop, but the fact that he's been so undependable in terms of showing up to shows and working with other artists has kind of made him a pariah, you know, but it's the fact that he's kind of become the poster boy for the Chicago scene right now that's kind of keeping him relevant. That and Kanye collaborations.
Collaborating with Kanye just gives him the benefit of the doubt far and wide for the most part.
I don't think it gives him the benefit of the doubt. I think it gives him limelight. I think it keeps his 15 minutes of fame going. Yeah.
That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say about that.
Because honestly, without like other people co-signing him and Young Chop, what is Chief Keef?
Right. Would he still be around right now?
Yeah. Like, you know, I mean, while I liked tracks on Finally Rich, I mean, the genius of that record to me is really Young Chop. You know? Like, you know, sometimes Chief Keef writes something catchy in terms of like a hook or like a refrain. But like, you know, just Young Chop's production style is really what keeps those tracks sounding listenable.
I wonder if he really likes pork chops.
What was that?
I wonder if he really likes pork chops, and that's
Young
why he
Chop
named
on the
himself.
beat.
And that's why he named himself Young Chop. Speaking of chops, fellers, we have the first Christmas question. Hold on, let me tap my glass of water. It's not even doing the sound. I need something metal. All right, look.
First Christmas question coming from where?
From me, dog.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought there were questions coming from the listeners.
Nah, from me, homie.
Okay.
Yeah, the listeners of this live podcast.
Yeah.
Throw your questions down there in the description, down there in the comments. We'll answer them
tweet
live.
or something. I don't know.
No, dude, it's coming from me, dog.
All right, go for it.
So look, jingle bells, tweet. All right, everyone. I want to kill myself for what I just said, but everyone likes turkey, right? You like it?
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Can you let?
I find turkey to be dry most times, but go ahead.
You never had fried turkey?
No, I haven't, but that sounds delicious.
Fried turkey, get some of that fried turkey in your goddamn.
Fried turkey is like really, and I haven't even had fried turkey in years, but it's really like the way to do it. Not only because the oil doesn't really penetrate the meat, so you know you're not getting like this really oily, fatty turkey. It just kind of just cooks the turkey from the outside to the inside in this really sort of you know, the oil just literally encapsulates the turkey in the way that an oven can't distribute heat evenly across the turkey.
And you don't lose that water.
So you've got to like continually just baste it and baste it and baste it. In the fryer, takes less time. You don't got to baste it. Comes out moist. And I mean, pretty much the only downside of it is you're in a pretty dangerous situation if you don't know what the fuck you're doing with like, you know, gallons upon gallons of hot boiling oil.
Yeah, and don't fry a frozen turkey, you guys. Please don't.
Don't fry a frozen turkey, and you know, on top of it, just make sure you're not spilling oil over, you know, because that can catch on fire too. So you know, like people have fucking burnt their houses down frying turkeys, you know. So I mean, if you do it, you gotta be super careful. You know, like the results could be awesome, but they could also be life ruining.
So my question for you fellas is, okay, we like whatever's main entree, whatever sort of main meat or main veggie, whatever the hell you're eating. Sides are really important in Thanksgiving, okay? It's a sides sort of meal, a sides event, okay? You get your macaroni, you get your collard greens, your fucking mashed potatoes and gravy. I want to know what your favorite side is.
Oh, potato salad.
I love mashed potatoes or corn on the cob.
That was quick. God damn.
Because Daddy knows what he likes. That's why.
And
Yuck.
And it's also kind of hard for me to give like a traditional answer because usually at like Thanksgiving, my dad cooks so many different things that aren't like stereotypical, like Thanksgiving food, mostly because he prides himself as a cook, and my stepmother's also Cuban. So, there's also like a lot of recipes from her that he's picked up over the years. And, he does some really awesome like rice and bean dishes that, usually around the holidays that I am super psyched for.
Frijoles negros or pinto?
He like these pigeon peas and like saffron rice.
Okay. He knows his shit, this guy. The pigeon peas.
Dominicans, we call it moro, which is basically rice with like lentils and shit like that.
Yeah.
But see, I had a debate with somebody the other day about just what makes potato salad. I don't like eggs in my potato salad.
Come on, player.
So then this person told me that without eggs, it's not potato salad. It's just fucking mashed potatoes with mayonnaise. And there might be some truth to that, but I refuse to have. There's something about just having an egg in there that I don't like. I don't like the texture of the egg amongst the potatoes. I'll take a carrot. Carrots are fine, and I'll even take Dom, I don't know if you've ever noticed when people make a potato salad. I think they do it with beets.
Haitians do that.
Potato salad is usually just mayonnaise, potatoes, and just an array of other vegetables. Nobody would see potato, mayonnaise, and eggs and be like, "Oh, that's fucking potato salad."
I say that.
I don't know. They would have to be like carrots or celery in there.
Right, you say that, but there's this thing. I don't know if it's a Latin thing. I'm not sure where it comes from, but it's one of you fucking people out there. I don't know who it is. You put eggs in the salad. Who are you people?
It's good.
Listen, there are just no real rules with food. There's some people that say, I have a friend of mine who loves chili and says it's not chili if there's no meat in it. I've heard people say it's not pizza if there's not cheese on it. These arbitrary rules are just stupid.
It's not chili if there's no meat in it.
Do you believe that?
Do I believe that?
Do you?
I don't know, man. Okay, if there's no beans in it, it's not chili.
Which is ridiculous because, so that's like the only ingredient that to you makes chili. Okay, just to get a block of fucking meat and be like, chili! That's chili right there.
Well, I think that person's expressing just their love for the beef. It's not really a rule.
Maybe. That's true.
I don't know, man. Relish too is another thing that people put in potato salad, which I love.
Relish in your potato salad, man?
So that's normally what I get. I'm very simple when it comes to the holidays. I just like potato salad, the rice that Anthony spoke of, and turkey. And this week, Daddy's having some ham. I'm having a Christmas ham.
Every time, dude. You gotta have your what's it, cured ham? What do they call it? Candied, whatever the fuck. It's all sweet. Honey baked ham. That's what it is.
Right. Well, this is my first. This is my first Christmas with it, but because normally I'd fucking eat like fucking pernil or fucking turkey or something like
pernil.
that. Pernil, pork shoulder, I think it is. Or
how you say that like I'm supposed to know what that fucking means.
No, well, you should.
You ever had that Haitian beet salad that you were talking about? You ever had that?
Yeah,
shit?
yeah, of course I have.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's delicious. By the way, folks. Mine is baked macaroni, that really cheesy fucking macaroni that you bake in the oven. You get a deep dish right on your plate. That's my shit right there.
Hey guys, I'm gonna dip out for 1 second. Be right back. Keep the food talk going.
Okay. We're gonna fucking talk about you when he goes. All right, let's talk about this guy.
Fantano talking about his good ass rice. I'm not gonna have any.
This fucking guy over here.
I'm just gonna pull my dick out right now. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, by the way, Anthony's gone. I reminded me we got to take the time out to thank God, I'm terrible because I don't have it right in front of me.
Yeah, I also drew a blank, but this fella.
I'll get his name in a second.
We're stalling because that's how amazing he is.
Continue. Good. Just go ahead. I'll find it.
He made art. This guy. He made art that is honestly. This is some pro shit that I would pay for it. Not that I did.
Okay.
He came out of nowhere.
I guess you would say UG Rocket.
Yeah.
UG Rocket on Twitter.
Excellent artist. And this is the art you're seeing on our channel right now. This is amazing. We got from the left to the right. We got MC Ride. We got Underwater Eddie. We got what's the cat's name?
Gray.
Gray, we got D.respect, we got Cal Hugesta, we got the Illuminati robot from the Hip Hop RPG, we got me, Dominic, we got Needle Drop, and we got Julio.
Yes.
Amazing.
Excellent piece of artwork, man. We appreciate you guys, and we love it when you guys contribute to the podcast, and when you just give. It's great. It's a great thing, and this is just such a great illustration. Thank you, UG Rocket.
We're gonna post links to his Twitter and his profile, portfolio and all that stuff in the show notes.
Taking a look at his
there.
Portfolio too. He's got some sick stuff. I like this little Homer Simpson.
I can tell you right now, you have good stuff in your future. You have good. You know what you're doing. You're technically sound. Keep hitting it. Don't let this thing go to waste. Don't let anybody tell you can't do what you want to do. Even though I fucking told you that I was going to be the best. Just fucking, every time. Push me down.
Boy, that went somewhere else, huh?
Yeah. Have you ever gotten the opportunity to like mentor somebody who's like maybe not as good at drawing as you, or would there ever be a situation where like if somebody came up to you, Dom, and said, "Hey man, listen, I've been drawing for like 5 years. Check out my stuff," and it's like horrible.
It's
like
shite.
what would you even say?
Oh man, I've had people ask me, and here's the reality, and you guys know this too. Whenever someone comes up to you looking for advice, or they want you to sort of tutor them or whatever, even if they say that they're gonna pay for it, which I've had too, they're not willing to put in the work most times. They don't even know. They have a tiny idea of the amount of work you had to put in to get to where you are now. Just the hours of being shitty at something. And even even now, I'm not where I need to be. So I mean, when I see a person, if I saw a guy who wanted to be better, I'd probably just test to see if it would be a waste of my time. Helping him out, I would tell him to get a sketchbook and start drawing every day, specifically life drawing. I want to see him try and render reality into a 2D space, but he would have to draw every day into that sketchbook, and then because that is what comes before you making all sorts of crazy abstract drawings and all that shit. So yeah, that's what I would look for, and then I would probably. Or if I had a guy who was technically good, who could do really good renderings of photorealistic shit, I'd probably try and get them to. I'd ask them shit about like what makes you angry about life, like what are you actually passionate about besides just drawing people who look good? Like, are you angry at your father or something? Like, draw that shit. Like, you got to do something that's unique once you're able to draw.
That's really funny. I've never like thought of that because I mean maybe with the exception of like someone like Jackson Pollock or something, I've never seen the process of creating a painting or a drawing as something that you could do angry. Music for a lot of people is most definitely always like a visceral thing. Like the vocals might be really amped up, or the beat might hit really hard, or a certain piece of instrumentation might be like blaringly loud, and which instantaneously like causes like an auditory reaction in your head, and sort of tunes into something really primal, that just gets your body moving along with it and can alter your mood. But I find it really funny, the idea of trying to paint angry. Like I've very, very few times have I ever heard somebody like, "Oh, this painting's angry," or or this painting's really visceral. Like I just get like really amped up looking at this painting.
Yeah, that's not. It's not one of those practices. I think it's you're learning to channel any sort of emotion or anger you have. If you're deciding to do emotional subject matter, or you're tapping into you're just drawing shit however you want to draw it, it's probably going to come out of you anyway. So I mean, it's like you're funneling all whatever emotion you're feeling, it's going to end up funneling through your tiny hand motions anyway. So I mean, I don't know. I
guess the question is to you. Like I think the way that anger can channel into a song is really obvious.
Yeah.
You make things really loud. The person singing the song is screaming his brains out. Like, to you, what ways can anger translate into a painting? Maybe other than like, you know, like what you're actually painting, like maybe punching someone in the face. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, forget that and forget action painting where you're like literally stabbing a canvas and all that stuff. Just put that aside. I don't know how to deal with that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
How would you channel it? I guess. Really, this is kind of advanced stuff, but like when you see sometimes these drawings where it's like meticulously rendered things of like swirls that are over and over again, or like just like giant cancerous tumors coming out of people's heads, and it's just like, and you the closer you go in, it's just like the minute details forming and all that stuff. I think anger and sort of the sadder spectrum of emotions can channel themselves into 2D or 3D art in the drive it takes to make that super meticulous, those weird details that don't need to be there, but they make something a lot more eerie or like otherworldly. That's what, does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I think that's where we'll be channeled into. I don't know.
How often do you get people approaching you and telling you like, "Hey, I'd like you to mentor me"? Take
that doesn't.
It doesn't really happen.
It doesn't happen that often. I get people like showing me stuff, and like I never know what to say. It's like
this normally happens like when you're on the street and shit. Like maybe people say something like that.
Oh man, yeah, I'll get that. People say all kinds of stuff like, "Oh yeah, I used to draw, blah blah blah."
But I gave up on myself.
I can't even draw a stick figure. You know.
So every time you say that, that's exactly what I say all the time.
I know.
All the time. Whenever I see somebody I can draw, I always say, I can't even draw a stick figure.
You know what I'm saying? I get no respect at all.
That's always the thing.
Yeah. The thing I'll usually get is them saying they want me to draw like their T-shirt. Like, hey, you know what, man? Hey, can you help me do this one thing? And I'm like, come on, please.
Like design a T-shirt.
Yeah, or draw a character or draw a tattoo for them or something. It's usually people wanting you to render a service unto them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the asking to get tutored and stuff, that doesn't happen that often. It's usually just people showing me stuff. I mean, whenever guys show you things, do you feel obligated to check it out? Because rarely is it actually. Maybe it's the law of averages, but rarely will you see something that's like, wow, this kid has something. He really has some shit, and I'd like to encourage them to keep on doing it.
I mean, it's kind of like, for me personally, it's kind of my job to like follow up when people are like, oh man, check out my shit, you know? Although I can't always check out everything, and, you know, because so many things are thrown my way, and, you know, some of my favorite artists over the years have come as a result of, you know, oh hey man, check out my shit, you know. And I saw this really funny video on Noisy today where this guy said something that was like super duper accurate about you know, displaying thirst, and he said, you know, as an artist you can't like be looking thirsty, and you know, you have to like make great stuff and be confident and be confident in that, and, you know, understand what makes for something great, or something, you know, appealing to other people. And you know, he said some of the most successful people I know and I work with say the least. You know, he said L.A. Reid like emails me, like he only ever emails me one word. He says, now, okay, cool, call me. And some of the shortest emails I've ever been sent have had some of the best music, you know. And on the flip side, other people have sent me god awful music attached to, hey man, I'm a rapper from New York, I'm 16, my mom's this, my dad's that, blah 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 blah, just like tell me your whole life story. And I'm like,
story, bro.
I really hope you guys listening, please listen to the tone of how he's saying that. That's how it comes across.
It's a defeated
yeah,
attitude.
and that is exactly the tone you are presenting to people when you write that stuff.
Because the thing is, like, what I think the reason people feel they need to approach things that way is because when an artist kind of hits the big time, that's like the kind of shit people care about, you know, because people want to check up on who they are and their authenticity and, you know, and basically be like fucking nosy and, you know, and get up in their business. You know, but when you're at ground zero, you know, and you haven't gotten to the point where people even care about your music, people don't even want to hear you do whatever you do. Nobody cares about your story. Exactly. You know, once you can create or make something compelling, then people are going to be like, "Oh, who's that?" You know, like until you make something that people care about, you're nobody. You know, so your story is irrelevant. And I've tried to, like, you know, carry this story home to people, and you know, they only ever get offended because, you know, I don't think there's really, I don't think there's really a nice way you can say it, you know, because it's just the truth of the matter, you know.
One thing that I always see when I get those emails, it's an ongoing theme. It's the sort of, hey, this is like a rough draft. It's really not my best work. But
and that's the worst.
That's
thing.
the worst thing that you could tell somebody.
Exactly. Not only that, but like number two, why would you present something that isn't your best to the world? You know, why would you present something unfinished to the world? Do you lack the ability to finish something? Right. If you do, then you're not going to get very far, whether I like your track or not. Right. You know, don't be handing me something artist, title, open parentheses, demo, you know? Show me it when it's finished, because unless it's finished, the only person who's hearing it in its finished form is you, because it sounds like something different to you because you're working off of an idea in your head. All I'm going to hear is the unfinished product, and that's what anybody else is going to hear. Nobody else is going to hear your idea because you haven't fully put it to paper yet.
It's the unfinished project, and maybe if you're lucky, you get some album art. What's the like ground zero of an artist's album cover?
Just like a picture of some fucking meme they got off of the Google image search.
I'd like to think it's always you're sitting down on a street and you've got your hands like you're praying and you're looking off into the side. You're always looking off into the side. When it's your first album, you never look right at the camera. You always look off into the side like you're just pondering about life's possibilities and why.
Like either that or just something that, like, you know, your friend drew and it doesn't look that good.
Titled
like,
My Life.
Or just like you've been using Photoshop for a year. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's always what I want to suggest to people. Always put your best foot forward, even if it's unfinished. You know, I would even go as far as to say, don't even fucking say that in the email. Just like Anthony said, we don't know. It's not done. I mean, it's just say, this is me, and just listen to my shit. You can't sell me on anything. I'm not going to read anything in the email that's going to
make you like the song.
Yeah. You're not going to make me like the song by what you write, especially if you give me your whole life story, your background and everything, because that's absolutely true. We want to hear about how much you love Coco, and then we want your story. You know, like we want to hear the record first, and then you let us know who the fuck you are.
Exactly. Well, my father ran a chocolate factory.
Oh, really? Okay.
And
all right.
yes, that was how I fell in love with the cocoa.
And okay.
I fell in love with cocoa.
I'm in love with the cocoa.
Whoa, Cal.
Speaking of authenticity, we wanted to tackle this whole Bobby Shmurda deal, which I'm not even fully sure of the details. Anthony, why don't you fill us in?
Yeah, just Bobby Shmurda, you know, just sort of viral New York rapper who just, I mean, for a moment, I mean, you did a video on him too, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
I mean, it just seemed like, you know, after he sort of had that viral hit on the internet that was sort of fueled by the whole shmoney dance off of Vine, he was just like on top of the world. And a lot of people sort of questioned his artistic abilities because, I mean, you know, it's not like the most well-written song in the world. You know, but it is kind of an entertaining music video.
I
and
love
it just seems
that
like
ignorant shit. I love it.
It just seems really hectic and chaotic. You know, the video itself, like, it just seems like they're really like a gang, and it fucking turns out they are. So I guess the police had been sort of looking into this gang that Bobby apparently is like a pretty important figure in for, a period of time even before that song had hit the internet and gotten huge. Actually, I think a lot of what he says in the song might have made them even more interested in what he's doing. Because the thing is, I've met police officers in the past and and talked about them with this stuff, and many of them, even those of whom are like maybe in their 30s now, and sort of grew up with sort of hip hop music being a part of mainstream culture, take a lot of the gang and violence talk in hip hop quite seriously. Because they see it as like a window to reality. Whereas some hip hop fans, and I think this includes Bobby Shmurda fans too, sort of see it as entertainment. I think we can safely assume that most people listening to Bobby Shmurda are not really about the life that he was about that got him in the position that he is now. So apparently like him and some other people who are a part of his crew were at the studio. They were posting up on social media, basically accidentally snitching on themselves.
Jesus.
And the police came around because they knew there was illegal activity going down there, and they knew they were all in one spot. And they essentially caught Bobby Shmurda with a handbag of guns, and apparently from either grabbing some phone calls or information they got from other people. I don't know if some people have been snitching. They have evidence to show that there might be conspiracy to do a whole slew of different illegal activities on Bobby's part and some of the other people that they're currently convicting. And on some of the charges that he's facing right now, he could be getting up to 25 or even 35 years.
Oh, that's not going to happen. And we all know why, right? He's gonna sing like a Boyd, Fantano. He's gonna sing.
You think so?
You think so?
I would probably think. I'd find it very hard to believe. I mean, does he have any? How many priors does he have? Does he have any at all? I mean,
I don't know. And
there's a prior for making up that fucking song.
Oh, boom! Oh, boom!
Being the hottest nigga alive.
Yeah.
There was a moment where it just kind of seemed like he was going to slip into obscurity because that follow-up song he did, Bobby Bitch, was terrible. Mm-hmm. Then that Shmurda She Wrote EP was not only titled horribly, but it didn't really sell that well. And then there's that whole viral clip of him dancing in the Epic Records. Is that who he signed to? Who did he get signed to? I can't remember.
That he was performing for them.
He wasn't even performing. Like, it was his music playing over the loudspeaker.
In like a conference room, right.
In a conference room. And then he was just kind of jumping around and dancing and lip syncing to it in front of this crowd of people. Like, if something came out like that really weird video of Kanye where he showed up at Facebook one day and he was just like a cappella spitting bars like in the middle of their like cafeteria on top of like a lunch table, which is like a crazy video if you haven't seen it. Like, if that had come out, I think it would have been more admirable than Bobby Shmurda just like jumping around the boardroom like a freak and just like lip syncing his words for like the boardroom directors.
And yes, it was Epic Records, by the way.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, a lot of people. I mean, Bobby Shmurda. A lot of people didn't have that much faith in him to begin with because of just his lack of lyrical ability, and then I think that kind of confirmed for a lot of people a lack of authenticity. But now this whole thing drops, and it's
he's
like
real. He's real.
It turns out he's real.
Mm-hmm.
But still, again, like, I don't know. Do you think these days hip hop fans want it to really be real? Like maybe they did at one point in the 90s?
I don't think so. I think people want you to be people do want you to be yourself, but then there's nothing great about getting arrested. There's nothing great about that. And I'll always say that this is because of Kanye. I think that's when real authenticity really came into hip hop, because Kanye was almost the first person that said, listen, I'm a weirdo. this is who I am. I'm not cool. I'm not a gangster, and I am what I am. And I think ever since that, I think everybody's sort of been like, oh, this is just ignorant. This is fucking stupid. Whereas back in the day, I was sitting in high school cafeterias when people would be arguing, say, about like Mobb Deep. And I had a friend that would tell me like the arrest that Prodigy had. And this was almost like he was cataloging his great records, like his great songs. Like, oh, you don't understand. Like, he stabbed some dude up north and like, whatever. And that's how he was qualifying who he was. So I think that people just look at this as just being fucking stupid. And yes, he is being real to himself, I guess. But I do remember that he had an interview with Jenny Boom Boom where she asked him about violence and everything. And I remember Bobby saying, don't do any of the street stuff. People glorify it. It's no good. I mean, if I find that interview, I'll put it in the description below.
Yeah, I remember you cutting a clip of it, and he was essentially just saying it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. So it's like
which I think a lot of people who do end up leading that lifestyle do ultimately feel that way. Because I mean, they're like often these people who do end up living that lifestyle are characterized as just being stupid and ignorant. When I mean, a lot of the time they fully understand the pros and cons. They understand the risks of doing what they're doing. Just for them, one side ends up outweighing the other, and they're just, kind of putting forward a message that would make sense for most people. And that is that if you don't have to do this, don't.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to keep doing it.
Right.
Like it's just funny how, for a genre that and not all of hip hop, just certain sects of hip hop, that seem to be very influenced and fueled by and inspired by violence, like suffering repercussions due to that violence, like going to jail, never seems to be a high point. Like it's not like somebody gets out of this. I correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think jail's ever revitalized anyone's career.
I'll think about that one, but I think it has.
Like, has anyone like? I guess maybe in the case of Little Bootsy,
50
for
was
like a second.
I was thinking of 50, but 50 was stabbed. It's not because he went to jail.
Well, 50 was also shot
Yeah.
how many times? And people use that, sort of just like you were talking about Prodigy as kind of like a qualifier. Yeah. But I mean, that's I think that's kind of like a. Just like
Boosie was a pretty good example. That's really the only case that I can think of. Yeah,
like as far as recent,
and that whole buzz it's gone.
I can't really think of like a moment where somebody was either at their peak of popularity, they went to jail and they came back more popular, or they were irrelevant, then they went to jail and they came out and they were hot. Well, like I think the closest anybody came to that was like
Shine
I think Snoop Dogg, when he was sort of in the midst of that murder case and people were kind of just like sitting on the edge of their seats saying, oh man, did he do it? Is he going to go to jail? Right. And then when, he finally got the case dropped, people were just like, celebrating. And I think that, I mean, the follow-up to Doggy Style was pretty weak. And, that whole murder case for Snoop really drew a lot of attention to him.
Well, this is a conversation that sometimes Dom and I have on this channel. I mean, it's the whole art conversation. So if what he's saying on the record is real, what makes it more art, Dom? Would it be the fact that that he's authentic to it, or that he's not?
It could be either way. I mean, if you get into like contemporary art theory, I mean, it's either one. I mean, it can get really muddy. Like you can be Iggy Azalea and speak in a way that's not how you usually speak, and that's also your art. I mean, it's how you present yourself. So I mean, like, is that inauthentic? I mean, you determine that ultimately. But it's like this self-imposed, this policing that's happened in hip hop, where it's always been this thing like, you're not real. And it's like, is anyone like yelling at Tom York from Radiohead about how he isn't real? You know what I mean? It's a hip hop thing, right? It's a distinctly hip hop thing that they had to deal with.
There are certain rock subsets that really worry about that kind of thing,
like Juggalos,
like punk rock and black metal.
Okay,
are worried about like authenticity a lot. I mean, especially like a lot of those older Nordic black metal bands like will outright hate bands that are not from that area of the world. You know, there are punk rockers who, you know, will say that other people are not really punk for not adhering to certain political ideologies, or, you know, like maybe even being trust fund babies, or you know, whatever. And for a while, like,
a creature came out of a cage behind him. He's still talking about music.
Hey,
let me finish my point.
Call the wolves.
Yeah.
Calling the wolves. Calling the dogs out. You know, and in the 2000s, indie rock was pretty obsessed with authenticity too, but now very much less so. Now that like people don't really care about selling out anymore.
That's true. I mean, we determined it. Damn it. I don't know.
See, but that's the thing. There's like, it's a change in what defines authenticity now. That it's
you do it ultimately.
That it's just not as hard as it used to be. Like, I can't stand having a conversation with somebody who says like, oh, you know, that's all rappers do is talk about violence. It's like, no, you know, far and wide, there's a lot less and less of that. You know, like if you've actually been listening to hip hop recently, it's not so much violence anymore. So that's why I think the authenticity is now just actually being just real to yourself, and not just the idea of what a rapper is supposed to be. And here's a question. Here's a question for you, Anthony. Do you think that? Okay. Do you think that next year there'll be another young sensation that's going to come up like this, like a Bobby Shmurda? Like, are we going to continue to get, because I mean, this is a trend that's been happening, you know, with these young little violent kids, obviously with Chief Keef, and then you had, you know, Kanye do the remix, and I don't know how many people hopped on Bobby's.
Even before you finish, most definitely. Just the answer is most definitely. You know, that it's.
But how wrong is that of the more elder? You know, the more elder artists that continue to jump on these songs and glorify this stuff.
It's. I don't even really think they care about whether or not they're glorifying it. They're just trying to stay relevant by hopping on something that's going to be hot for 15 minutes, you know, and just continue to just consistently convince themselves and other people out there like, hey, look at me, even though I'm not dropping a record this year, I'm relevant. I'm collaborating with an incredibly relevant young artist. You know, I think hip hop right now is getting to a point where it's aging as a medium, which comes with, you know, good things and bad things. The genre is becoming more diverse, like you were saying earlier, and that's because there are just so many more lanes now than there used to be to create in, and there are a lot of amazing artists that are taking advantage of that. But kind of a con of hip-hop aging is that its greats and its patriarchs are aging as well, and they're no longer putting out great stuff, you know. So as a result, I think you know, with these new artists and these new listeners too, kind of tuning out to older artists, you kind of have people like Jay-Z who are, you know, kind of hopping onto beats and sounds that they wouldn't normally, you know, and you have people like Kanye too who are kind of on the cusp of that, who, you know, might endorse someone or something that ideologically he might not agree with it, but he thinks it's kind of could potentially be a jumping board for him, which in the case of Chief Keef was, you know, most definitely right. And you know, Kanye, unlike Jay-Z, I think is really, he's not as good, and I don't know if he goes into it with this intention, but he's really not as good at picking artists that have any lasting power in terms of endorsements. Kanye's much better at just picking artists that he can either jump off of or pull influence from for maybe several years at a time, and then just move on to someone else, you know, constantly kind of keeping his creativity up and fresh and new and sounding different. You know, I don't think he's kind of looking to do what Jay-Z did and, you know, kind of take someone under his wing who eventually down the road will outshine him. You know, he very much seems to be more focused on endorsing people who he thinks he can get something from.
That's what I'm into. That's how I would be.
How would you be? What do you mean?
If I were a musician, I would just get all these hot young girls to sing on my tracks. Okay. And I would use them and abuse them, just kick them to the side.
Okay.
Dog.
All right.
because I'm hardcore.
So you're putting out an album with a few females.
A few ladies to sing on the hook.
Who are these women?
Let me get whoever that the white chick that Kanye just signed to Good Music. Let me get her. Okay.
I haven't even heard one of her songs.
I'm surprised you didn't review it, man.
But did it come out this year? Is it good? What is it?
I don't. It's on SoundCloud. I looked at a bunch of pictures of her though. But anyway,
of course you did. What?
Of course you did.
Dominus White Girls comment section. God damn it.
But yeah, it's on SoundCloud. Go check. Is Young Lacey some shit? I forgot what her name is. Yeah, let me get her. Let me get Azalea Banks. Let me get Iggy Azalea Banks, which is
wait a second.
fusion.
You said her name was Young Lacey.
I forgot Young Lacey.
I don't know why I'm finding this so funny, but I typed in Young Lacey and I see this shirtless white chick with celery and carrots. Like she's got a bunch of like vegetables in her hand and she's smiling at the camera. And I'm gonna send this to you.
Okay, cool.
It's just a funny pic.
So are Iggy Azalea and Azalea Banks coming in a package deal now?
Yeah, but it's a fusion of them. You
Both
see, it's like I take their blood, the blood of Iggy and the blood of Banks, and I fuse them to make one hot mix chick. And she is my main signee on my label.
A hot mix chick that is self-hating.
Yeah, she's like,
essentially you have two DNA strands that are just at philosophically different ends of the spectrum. You know, there's just like a lot of internal struggles going on there.
Exactly.
Well,
I can sing however I like.
Well, instead of a feature, you let me know what you'll get these next people for Christmas, because I want to run down a list of people here. Very small list, mostly of hip-hop artists, and I want you guys to let me know what you want to get these people for Christmas, okay?
All right.
So the first person that I have on this list is Jay Electronica. What would you like to get him for Christmas?
Let me pass this on to Fantano because I know jack shit about Jay Electronica.
Some recording studio time.
Ah, okay. He's in need of it.
Zing.
Bill Cosby.
Oh boy, I need to get him a fucking time machine so he can go back.
I was gonna say that
and not do a certain thing or two. Or
a time machine and a good talking to.
Yeah.
Listen, you know, you can't just be going around doing that thing.
Nah, that's Eddie. Yeah.
That's not Eddie. That was Cosby.
Sir,
It was like underwater Cosby.
You take the Cosby's my cousin, you know.
As soon as I listed this next person, I knew immediately what my answer was, and I think almost to the point that one of you you're going to mention this. Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, it's just some clippers.
There you go. I was thinking a haircut. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, some clippers. He's been
get a goddamn haircut. Yeah,
got that damn hair, boy.
I don't know what to get him. What do you get someone who loves themselves?
Oh,
you get him a mirror.
They have everything. A mirror.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, we get Kendrick Lamar a mirror. There you go.
I love myself.
Yo, thanks for that mirror, man. I look good.
Hey, man, it's thank you, man.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm gonna go look at myself now. You guys
look at myself.
Take it easy.
Kendrick was here the whole time, apparently. Next person on the list, Drake.
I would get Drake
some ointment for his beatdown wounds.
Oh, okay.
Some ointment for that sick burn.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
I'm trying not to just fall in line with the stereotypical
don't
Drake
go
joke.
against it.
But the thing is, like, I feel like I'm in that movie Liar Liar right now, where I'm just like trying to say that the pen is like black, but I can't not say that it's blue.
You can do it. What are you getting, Drake?
I can't do it without saying a joke. I'm sorry, I can't.
Go for it.
Some tissues, man. Some tissues.
Okay. Get him some tissues.
I'd also get him a good needle drop review. I'd get him a good needle drop review for Christmas.
Okay.
Ooh, positive review.
I could just see somebody in the comment section saying, "I'll give him a light 7 to a strong 8 or something like that."
Yeah,
like
a pretty positive review. I'm not going to go overboard with it. Okay.
Rick Ross.
All right, don't go fat. Don't go fat.
No, Rick Ross has actually been losing weight.
He's trying to lose weight. He's trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
I'd get him some pears.
Man. That guy gets it. That guy gets
it. Get him a basket of pears.
Okay, I just got it.
He knows what it's all about.
Did you see that video, Dom?
Where he was talking about how he eats pears all day?
Well, yeah,
he's
like, I'm on a diet. They got me eating fruit and vegetables. I'm eating pears.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then everybody turned it into a thing.
Okay,
and then somebody brought a pear for him to sign at a signing.
Serious?
Yeah, you could look it up on Tumblr.
Great.
Like there's like video of it. He signed the pear for the kid.
Good for him for having a good sense of humor and signing it.
Yeah, but God, this shit. Okay. We need to get some non-musicians in this list. Okay, so boom. Okay, Joaquin Phoenix. What do you get him?
What do you get, Joaquin Phoenix? You get him a girlfriend.
Oh, thanks very much. Do you love me?
Joaquin. I mean, it's like you're in love with a computer. What is that?
I'd get him a feature on the upcoming Jay Electronica record.
Oh yes, as the rap. Yeah, the rap.
Oh, but you know he's gonna. What was his artist name? Did he have a name when he did that whole rap thing?
I forgot what it was.
He had one, didn't he? Oh fuck! I don't want to look it up. All right, whatever.
Okay, we need one more non-musician to round this out.
Oh, you want a non-musician? Oh.
Yeah, I want to we're going all hip hop people from your list.
Okay, what do you get Anthony for Christmas? What do you get Anthony?
God, it can't be music related. He gets too much
Anthony,
of that.
what do you? What do you get the man that has all the music stuff?
You know, I'd probably. I want to get him a Rothko painting.
That'd be nice.
It is the
What's a Rothko painting?
Rothko is this painter who he does like huge paintings of just one color or like three colors, just very pretty brush strokes, but like these paintings that are super simple, but people have reportedly sat in front of them for like 3 hours and started crying. They go for millions of dollars. Whoa. That sort of shit.
Really? Have you ever cried at a painting? No? Like you don't even feel like a little tickle of sadness sometimes? Like you don't even feel like a little choked up?
If I have... No, I never even... If I felt sad looking at a painting, it was because of like the subject matter is very obviously sad. Like someone is like cradling their dying mother or something like that. That's like obviously sad to me. Never like some abstract shit that just makes me feel... Nah, not
so
really.
Only a realistic
like do you feel
portrait.
that's like kind of like a... Do you feel it's like kind of a... like I don't know, like a requirement or something to be either like an artist or like a true fan of a certain medium, you know?
Absolutely not.
To cry for it? Hell no.
Well, I think like you
to
know,
feel strong emotions.
Yeah, like to feel like not necessarily just. It's not as simple as just crying, but just like feeling the whole emotional spectrum within a medium. You know.
I don't think so. I feel super drawn to many works of art, and I notice I just want to be around them. I just want to see. I just want to look at them. I want to know everything about this person, how they made this thing. I just feel very much pulled towards things. But I think that's about as emotional as I get about things. Like I'll see something and I'll see it'll be like 30 feet away from me, and I'll just like speedily walk over to it, pushing people out of the way.
Do you think that's because you understand more of the technical things that go into painting, so maybe you're sort of analyzing it in a different way than somebody who doesn't know what the fuck anything is with painting? I mean,
probably.
Do you think it's easier to have certain emotional reactions and also translate certain emotions as well when it comes to different mediums? Like, is it easier to make like an angry sculpture than it is an angry painting, or is it easier to make an angry poem than it is to make an angry song?
Okay. Absolutely, because I'll tell you why very simply, because 3D stuff can hurt you. You can make a spike going through a woman's head and make it look really realistic, and I mean that's super obvious. Yeah. Like, as opposed to like drawing someone getting mauled by a bear is nowhere near as scary and real
but
as
funny.
Seeing. What was that?
But funny.
Yeah, exactly. As seeing a spike go through a realistic sculpture of someone.
Yeah. I think that's partially why there's like such an outrage these days over a lot of what happens in video games. Because video games are at this point where, I mean, not only are you know, there's really no limitations to what they can explore in the same way that movies, you know, can explore anything.
Right.
So, you know, of course there are violent video games just like there are violent movies, but, you know, video games have reached a point where they look super duper real, or at least what they are portraying, you know, is in like this 3D space. And, you know, it seems like super barbaric because it's, you know, in full motion, and, you know, the production value is really high. So, you know, I think video games have kind of reached that point too, you know, where they're getting a lot of very negative reactions because of some of the violent things they're portraying with much accuracy, visual accuracy.
Yeah, and that's only gonna get weirder.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you know, we might get to a point where, you know, maybe we're at the point
down
in
into his
video
future
games-
talk.
Oh, I love this.
maybe we're getting to a point right now where video games are kind of like in that kind of slasher movie phase, and then like maybe only 10 more years down the road we're going to see a bunch of like abstract avant-garde fucking video games, you know, being like, you know, really popular.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff out there already. A lot of indie games.
Yeah, with like the indie market, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as popular stuff, God, I don't know, man.
Well, the popular stuff is always mostly going to be killing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna be planting gardens and like Call of Duty, a gardener.
But it always
Well,
has
you
to
know,
deal
I mean,
with death.
Well, I mean, games like Farmville are actually, you know, can in a way be considered video games and are wildly popular.
Yeah, it's definitely a video game. But before we like close this Christmas list out, I have to say these commercials I hate are with Kate Upton in this what is it called, Lord of War. What is this mobile game called where she's like, you wanna play, and she's riding on her tits.
Oh yeah, and she's like riding on a horse in like a silver like dress or whatever.
Yeah, she's about to ride into her death.
Oh, is
by the way.
that Kate Upton?
Is that her? Kate Upton?
I just thought it was some, you know, miscellaneous model. I just thought I didn't know it was like a celebrity.
I'm pretty sure. I think I was right. I'll check that after the show, and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
I'll do some research. I won't get back to you. I'll just look at pictures of her.
Research.
But they only show like 2 seconds of the fucking game at the end of the commercial. It's horse shit.
Yeah.
They would market. Oh, okay. Last person, Fantano. You got to generate a person for us to gift to.
Who would you give? What would you give to? What would you give to? Who's the director of? What would you give to Seth Rogen? You know, right now.
Wow, Seth Rogen.
What would you give Seth Rogen?
Given recent events.
God, that's a tough one.
Give him an interview for a new job.
Is the movie going to be put out, or is it just?
I
has it
heard
just
they're
been
going to release it
canceled?
on Crackle. I don't know if that's true or not, but
I think it's going to eventually see an internet release.
Okay.
I'm going to give him one of those like like a Trojan horse, like a giant gift, like a statue of Rodman to give to North Korea, and they're like, "Oh, this is very good, yes," and and then like the soldiers just pour out of it, and like they have like fucking cyber katanas and
like American soldiers, or they're like robot cyborgs, or
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so they're like robot
that would be cool.
soldiers.
Yeah, that would be cool though.
Okay.
Really much cool. So yeah, I would give him the control of a giant Trojan horse, a Dennis Rodman figure,
filled with cyborg ninjas.
Yes,
Okay.
that'll be tight.
How would he react to this gift?
This is so cool, but I am also upset.
Great Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
impression.
yeah. I was
Oh,
gonna
I
let
thought
you
you
say-
like.
no, I was asking for a Seth Rogen one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how he would react.
That is exactly the inflection
would-
of
he would
voice he
try
would
and-
use.
It is Dom's
Oh,
duty.
Seth Rogen he'd be like, "Oh, that's pretty cool.
I have to throw in the laugh.
That's cool.
It's Dom's duty to imitate everyone who's mentioned on the podcast. As a matter of
I
fact,
gotta
everyone on the
stop
list,
doing
you
it.
should probably try to run down and imitate all of them.
No,
But no, you probably have at some point, except for maybe Jay Electronica.
I don't know what he sounds. Here's my J Electronica impression. Okay, you ready?
Okay, do it.
I hope you all have a nice Christmas. Thanks for listening to the show. This has been really, really fucking fun, you guys.
Wow,
Was that
Great.
good?
That's great.
that was amazing.
I'm J Electronica, everybody. Thanks for coming by. You know.
Dom, have you considered doing an impersonations podcast?
Yeah.
What the fuck do you think this is?
Like, you guys think it's me and these two guys. I am actually doing an impression.
20% of this podcast is imitations. Dom's imitations.
Yes.
Hey, Anthony. Merry Christmas, man.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
to you,
Christmas.
too.
Hey,
what's going on?
Nothing much, man. I just stopped by to give you a gift, man. Here it is, man.
Oh, wow, dude, thanks. All right, let me get this wrapping paper off of this thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I did. Holy shit! You got me Excite Bike on NES.
Oh man,
this is what.
I had to. I knew it was your favorite. I knew it.
This is my favorite NES game, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe you got me. I'm so excite to bike. Thank you.
Oh boy.
Thank you. I did not come in here empty-handed.
Wow.
I came here with a gift for Dom.
Okay.
Whoa.
Here, Dom. Here you go. Handing this off to you.
This is incredible. What could this possibly be?
Just get the wrapping paper off.
Wow.
More
okay.
wrapping paper.
All right. Let me just. There's a lot of. Wow. Wait. I just. A copy of Juno. All right. On Blu-ray.
I made a burn CD of the soundtrack and I threw it in there too.
Oh, that's in there too. Okay.
With a few extra Kimya Dawson songs that I think should have been on the soundtrack.
All right, thank you. This is very nice. D.respect, my friend,
Hey.
my good pal. Come here.
My turn.
Come here. All right, here you go. Here's your gift.
All right. It's a little heavy.
The wrapping paper is really cool on that gift.
Yeah,
It's a copy of Lou Bega's Mambo No. 6. Dom, I didn't even know he put this
Do you know
out.
how hard I had? Dude, I had to fight Raekwon to the death.
I heard there's only 100 copies of that.
Are you serious, Dom?
And it's on Laserdisc.
Yes, dog. That's fucking
Dom,
awesome.
thank you so much. Dom, do you have any idea how tempted I was to just imagine that it was a piece of shit? You know how I was struggling to say a nice turd. Thank you, Dom.
Mambo No. 6 is good.
Well, it's